Greetings, gamers! Welcome to part number 22 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 4 Thracia's favorite best friend, Genealogy of the Holy War. I guess I caught that a little bit. That's funny. Alright, so in this episode, I have to deal with Eldigan and his crew. Eldigan wields the Demon Blade Mistleton. There's actually 3 weapons in this game. Swords of note, the Tyrfing, the Balmung, and the Mistleton. Mistleton's the Demon Blade. I believe the Tyrfing is either... I want to say the Tyrfing is the Holy Blade, and the Balmung is the Sacred Blade. And they're all counterparts to each other. So, interesting little dichotomy there. I actually have kind of a little bit of a conundrum here, and that is that I have a lot of enemies to defeat. I put Arden to defend the castle because these guys are very close to reaching, and I don't really mind if some of them decide to attack him with the javelins that they have. I'm going to be able to attack 8 separate cross knights this turn, potentially more actually. I have to heal with Ethlin on Finn, though it's not much healing. It is better than nothing. I am not capable of really doing much of anything than attacking right now, so somebody like Finn, he's just going to have to hopefully survive this upcoming enemy phase. Alright, so with that being said, it is time to move forward. And this is a KO here. Perfect. Eldigan, please, lay down your sword. I don't want to fight you. I still have every intention of returning Augusti to Chagall. All I need is a little more time, I swear. Sigurd, I'm sorry, but I grow weary of these excuses. We stand now as 2 knights on the battlefield, sworn to an honorable duel. Draw, Sigurd. So long as I wield the Demon Blade, Mistleton, I won't be the one to fall this day. Once you get them 2 close enough, they have a combat dialogue. I like this because you don't ever have to actually fight Eldigan. I'm going to be showing you that momentarily. I need to KO this guy. Alright, so I'm going to do that with Finn. So bringing them this close to the castle could allow me to basically move out with somebody else from the castle, especially a mounted unit, like Beowulf. If they were a little bit closer, it would be useful, but as you can see, he's just out of range, and if he wasn't, it would be great, but there's nothing that can be done about that. So this would be nice, a bit of experience points for Rekessis. Now, having the Knight Ring on Rekessis for this chapter particularly is actually very, very good. And the reason is going to come into effect after I dance. But for now, it is time to continue moving forward with KOs. I think I'm going to be able to KO one of these guys just, yeah, outright, completely. Oh, Lex, come on. You needed to not miss that. Steel bow. And then some of these cross knights, yeah, most of them are just low health. So I'm going to go ahead and attack here. Move Quan here, of course. And then I'm going to be dancing for these 4. Sylvia is actually in danger of death in this particular next enemy phase. I don't know if this is good. Alright, I'm going to talk with Rakessis.
Brother, stop. It's me, Rakessis. This pointlessness has gone on long enough. Your actions are utterly baffling. Would you really betray Sigurd, your friend? Is this what you call a knight's pride? Please, brother, believe in Sigurd. Give him even the tiniest amount more time to finish his job. We don't need to fight.
Rakessis, look, don't cry. Fighting is my only choice. Please don't make this harder than it already is. His Majesty's death will spell the death of Augustria too, and I cannot allow that.
That isn't true. Everything hinges on Chagall laying down his arms. Sigurd never had any interest in fighting, and has even less interest in continuing if you stop. Brother, please, you lead the Cross Knights. Chagall simply cannot ignore your counsel.
You're right, Rakessis. I'll try and persuade His Majesty one more time. If I must risk my life, I'd rather risk it to stop this blasted war than to fight my friend. Any knight would do the same. Rakessis, here, this sword is for you.
Isn't this an earth sword? Brother, you can't be.
This is a last memento, in case I'm sorry, Rakessis. You must survive.
Well, wait. Stop, don't go, Eldi.
So you never actually have to fight Eldigan, which is pretty cool. And you also get a very powerful sword from this little, I want to say tidbit. The only thing is, though, is it's nowhere near as powerful, in my humble opinion, as it is in Genealogy's sister game, Thracia. And you're going to see why that is momentarily. Your Majesty, please order a retreat. There's no use in continuing this fight. Augusti shall be returned to your Majesty someday, but it must happen peacefully. Eldigan, how dare you abandon the battle to spout this such nonsense? You couldn't hide your true colors forever, traitor. Men, seize this worm. Off with his head. Humiliate him. Parade his shame before the world. This was all in vain. This spells Augustria's doom. Enough. Accept your death quietly, traitor. Finish him. Do it now. Right here. Right now. Rakessis. So the Earth Sword, it's a 70 hit, 12 might, 1-2 range, 5 weight weapon. It has the Nosferatu tome hidden within it, which I actually think has 12 might. So I think it's the same in this game. It's actually weaker than the light tome, if I'm not mistaken. But there's good reason. It heals the user upon use. Now, only 12 or 10 uses is kind of ridiculous in my humble opinion, especially because it's also very expensive to repair. So this sword is good for niche and little situations, especially for Rakessis. She's good with it, but it's not something I would rely on, especially for like a whole turn, unless it was necessary to a specific strategy of yours. The Miracle Sword is still obviously better in my humble opinion. Rakessis, what is best to do with her is when you have the Night Ring on her at this current moment, you could gain the Earth Sword by talking to Eldigan. And I think, actually, you know what? I think talks stop you completely. If that's true, then she can't really do anything concerning the Night Ring. But if it's not, then she would be able to equip the Earth Sword if you wanted. I think the Miracle Sword is fine. I actually think most of these guys, yeah, these guys are doing 21 damage. So in either case, she's being taken down to Miracle. I'm actually kind of worried that Sylvia's gonna, well, no. Yeah, Sylvia can be attacked by a couple of these guys. That's really, really, really unfortunate. I actually know no way of fixing this little problem either, because I could put Lex, Sigurd, and Quan next to one another right here, and nobody would be able to attack her from the front, but she's going to get attacked from the rear, from the side position over here, and these guys are going to try to strike her. She is going to die. Unfortunately, what that means is I'm going to have to reset. I could... I think there's a possibility here. I'm going to try this. Now, it's still possible that somebody like Finn, for instance, is going to die here, because there's still going to be quite a few of these guys left. So I'm not entirely sure. But there is just one way to find out. I'm going to try and see if I can't like fix this little situation so that I don't have to reset. Alright, so this leaves the 3 to possibly attack Rekessus, and I think they're going to. Again, as long as they use... I actually think it would be better if this knight were to attack her with, like, the javelin. And the reason why that is because the javelin is going to be doing 2 extra damage here. So he'll have a 23 attack, minus her 9, which means that she's going to take 14 damage. That would be far and away better, because then nobody would hit her. Alright. So Azel is still moving up. These 2 can get over here as well, I suppose. I think I'm going to have to make sure I move her first. Alright, put these 2 next to one another. And continue moving up with the rest of my units. I think it really doesn't matter. I actually think what I want to do is I want to visit these villages with Dew. I'm going to still give the gold to Rekessus, but the Wing Clipper is something that I could actually use on him to help with the flying units. I don't think he's going to be able to help, but just in case... Oh, glad to see you've come. I got this here sword for you in preparation. They call it the Wing Slayer. It's intended to be lethal to Skyriders. If it flies, this sword will bring it down. Of course, it ain't. If you can't use it, sell it. And there we go. Oh yeah, he can't use it. I thought it was a C rank sword. Ah, it's B. That's unfortunate. Whatever. He can sell it. It's no big deal. Sigurd still has the bolt sword on him. A little bit unfortunate here. I definitely don't want a long-range sword on Sigurd. He doesn't need it. It's not actually terrible for the next particular chapter. Yeah, he's not really going to do much with the bolt sword, even though he has low magic, but I do believe most of the enemies that he could use it against don't have good resistance anyhow, so I don't think that particularly matters. A lot of my strategy right now is going to basically be reliant on these Cross Knights not teaming up on somebody like Finn. So hopefully not. Travant, I trust your Draco Knight unit is ready. You can rest assured, Chagall. We'll deliver on your expectations. I suppose even these common sellswords ought to do a better job for me than any of my worthless servants. Don't you dare let me down.
Pick up the pace. Augustry is right ahead. Our targets are the Knights of Granville. Take your fill of battle. Sear the name of Thracia into the memories of this land.
I always found it very weird that the Thracian Draco Knights come from the northwest. And the reason why that is because this continent is not like the only continent that exists on this world. Not at all. In fact, from what I understand, the Jugdral continent exists alongside Arcanea and Valentia. So the fact of the matter is there's 3 continents at the very minimum. Why in the world would they come from the northwest when Thracia, especially southern Thracia, where the Draco Knights are and where they exist, is the southeasternmost country in all of Jugdral? It's very, very strange, to say the absolute least. I don't know that she can... No, she cannot. Maybe with the Earth Sword she can? Would be nice to get her another KO here. Perfect. Awesome.
The closer I get her to level 20, the better. And she's actually leveling up pretty good. Alongside the little buffs that she gains from Beowulf's conversation, Rakessus has some pretty good bases for what she is, especially for how bad her growths are. You really only want like a little bit of strength growth. When she promotes, she could literally grow no more right now. When she promotes, her stats become insanity. Because when you promote, if I'm not mistaken, you get class bases if your bases are less than that class's bases, and then you get the promotion gains. And she gets some very wild promotion gains. Brave Axe. As I said, I'm going to continue working on the Brave Axe and the Brave Sword, so that's going to be the mainstays of this little situation here. And then, I think I'm going to use Ethlyn to heal up some more. And I'll dance for these 4. Yeah, Finn needs healing, so I'll do that. And then I'll move her into the little adjacent square I've got going on, or diamond, I guess you could call it. And HP, Strength, Magic, Skill, Speed. Wow. An incredible level up. Yeah, so as you can see, even though Ethlyn is not at all what you would consider well-versed to combat in the beginning of this game, she turns into a pretty good unit. Promotions actually fix a lot of units. And some of them are just wildly strong. Like, she got +6 strength. So, basically, right now, if you did not factor her promotion, she would only have an 11 strength, which is not great. But 17 strength is pretty good. It's not fantastic, I'll grant, but it is still pretty good. And then the rest of my units do have to move forward. I have a lot to prepare for. I do believe these guys move, if I'm not mistaken. Rakessus needs to be healed again. We got to see the little overland map animations of the good old... I'm going to make sure the light brand is equipped. Rune Sword, or Earth Sword, as it's called in this game. I don't know why I called it the Rune Sword. It was the Earth Sword first and foremost in the series. Just in case these buffoons decide to attack me. At range, hand axe equipped. A Zell. Now, my goal is to have the Thracian Draco Knights go towards, like, Lewin and friends. So I like putting him in the top right scenario, little corner of this little area. It's not guaranteed. In fact, it's kind of likely that they'll go for my units like Sigurd and friends. And if they do, then I have to kind of hold back a little bit and make sure that I'm not fighting both the Augusti crew and the Thracian Draco Knights. No matter how much I think about it, I just don't get why the Orga Hill pirates have so suddenly turned on us like this. We could have sworn that boss of theirs was a good lass. Bridget or something, was it? 5,000 gold. Where have I heard the name Bridget before? Interesting. And wait right here. I actually don't think I have anybody else to move. So I'm going to go ahead and end my turn. Silval phase. And the Thracian Draco Knights are a part of the Silval army, which actually is good and bad. Because you can technically easily defeat Silval before they ever reach any of your units. And in that understanding, you could also seize Silval before they ever reach any of your units. And in that case, the issue would be is that you wouldn't actually be able to fight them because they would just disappear upon Silval's seizure. So Chagall has a Bolganone, which is a 20 might fire tome. He only has 9 magic, but this is still very powerful because none of your units in the first generation have reasonably good resistance. So do keep that in mind. Now, he is the beginning of the trend of barons in this game having silver blades. He did last chapter as well, but now he actually drops this. This weapon is something I'm going to be getting on Lex. Lex has to KO Chagall. No matter what, he is the target for Lex. There are no swords in this game that drop that I would want to give to Lex's son. So, other than the Silver Blade, so it has to be the Silver Blade. It's another reason why I give Lex the skill ring, because the Silver Blade has much less hit than like a Silver Sword. So it's kind of like they work in tandem, and I find this to be very good. So one thing I don't understand though is that even Holy Blood using barons will have a Silver Blade on them. And the problem with that is that they typically have their holy weapon and would never use the silver blade instead. So I'm not entirely sure why they have such a thing. It's funny too that Chagall has no holy blood to speak of. You would think that the Keeper of Mistletoe, Hazul's blood, would be the king of Augustria. And I really think that this game is trying to hint, especially during these times, that Chagall and his line is like a false heir, and that Eldigan was supposed to be the real king, and his line was supposed to be the real kings of Augustria. And if they had been, all of this war would have been prevented. This game loves to demonstrate tragedy, and I actually find it kind of really cool. All right. Brave Sword. This is just another wonderful KO for Sigurd. As you can see, the barrier and the shield ring are mighty compliments to somebody like Sigurd, who already is a strong unit, but just gets so much stronger upon wielding such. I don't think I want to move him up so far yet. And then I will attack with the Brave Axe, of course. I'm doing a whopping 27 damage times 2, so this guy is definitely defeated by Lex. This is what I'm talking about. It's kind of easy to train up the brave weapons to kill counters, as long as you're, relatively mindful. He's already at 28 kills on the brave axe. Of course, the brave sword is nowhere near that kind of level yet, but it's going to get there. It is absolutely going to get there. And Lightbrand, she's doing exactly enough damage, 25 times 2. Of course, there is always the chance that Evelyn could do something like a critical proc, which she just did. She has a reasonable chance to do that after promotion because of her skill buff. And she has 23 skill, so a 23% chance to just say, I'm critting you. I do want to keep Rekessis nearby, and I want to keep her... Let's see. Nope. I'll put you here. I want to keep her in such a way that I'm able to use her for some of the combat in the next couple of turns because, again, she needs experience points more than any of these guys. Of course, she doesn't have a weapon that needs kills on it. It would be relatively easy to give her something like the Brave Sword, but I actually think the Miracle Sword is more important, especially for her dealing with the Cross Knights, because the Cross Knights will just absolutely destroy her. This is one of those moments where you would wish that Rescue was in this game. Now, there is a Rescue Staff, but you don't get it anytime soon. I actually don't think you can possibly get it in the first generation. Not sure about that one. Definitely not something you could quote me on for sure. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, After I take Silval, I will have a conversation between Ethlin and Quan. It's going to be kind of very important. Make sure you do not miss that. Azel. These folks can all stay here for the time being. And yeah, if I'm not, yeah, Rakusis is in a really kind of like terrible spot right now. So I'm going to be able to use her to return all of these guys, and that's part of my purpose of giving her the return staff, but she's not going to be able to return herself. You don't get the other return band in this generation until kind of a bit later on. And I do want her to get this village as well, so she's probably going to be stuck over here for the rest of this chapter at some point. Not great. I'm honestly thinking about having Sylvia stay with Rakusis and then have them two move, and just have her move across the road, because I would like them to eventually meet up, her and Azel, so that Rakusis and Azel can do a little bit more pairing this particular chapter, because the sooner that they pair, the better. And that will be the end of my turn. Silval's phase, I think this is just going to be the Thracian Draco Knights moving. It looks like they're moving towards Lewin right now. Which is okay. It's, again, it's what I want, but it's also still a hairy situation. Alright. Equip Bolt Sword. Light Brand. Quan doesn't have a ranged weapon, so he's going to just stay there. Javelin. Hand Axe. Steel Bow is fine. I guess I'll just dance right here. A little bit of experience points for Sylvia. She's never going to gain even a remote amount of levels through just dancing. Equip the Earth Sword, and then I can mend up. That should be my turn for them, as of right yet. Dew can go ahead and give the gold to Ideen, so I don't forget. That's an extra 10,000 for Ideen. A little bit of experience points for Dew as well. So she's back at 23,000, which is a far more reasonable number. She's going to need that because, again, she has all of the really important and very expensive staves. And that will be my turn yet again. Silval phase, taking forever with these Thracian Draco Knights. I wish they would just hurry on up. And of course, I'm not going to just be dealing with the Thracian Draco Knights, because I have finally moved in range of Auguste's Knights. Yeah, I'm assuming this guy was like, who do I attack? The girl who's doing a ton of magical damage, or the guy who's just doing one physical hit? It's pretty clear to me why he attacked. Alright. And then Bolt Sword Sigurd. So I'll get to use a little bit of it. Not going to do very much damage, though, because, again, Sigurd only has one magic, plus, I think, the 14 might, so he's only going to do 15, minus whatever resistance these foes have. One thing I do like having, so one of the reasons why you don't necessarily want to just capture the castle before you deal with these guys is one of them, the boss, has the renewal band. And if you were to capture the castle, you don't get this in the first generation. The renewal band heals 20% of users' HP every turn. I actually love giving this to Lewin for various reasons, but the most important and primary one is that Lewin has to deal with a lot of enemies in the next chapter, or in the last chapter of the first generation, and he has a little bit of a problem dealing with them at times. All right, so not a KO. That's kind of sad. I think so. Rakesis is, I don't know how much damage she's doing. All right. Doesn't particularly matter. I'm just going to start KOing. Fin, fin, fin. Yeah, I think this is perfectly fine. Madeira does need this experience points as well. He's kind of low on the totem pole when it comes to promotion because the guy himself just... It's the problem of being an archer, right? The only reliable combat he's going to see in a chapter is if you spoon feed him kills or if you're getting through the arena. And he doesn't have a good time going through the arena, let's just put it that way. Another KO. Very nice. I do have to heal up Sylvia. This is something I've been neglecting for the past couple of turns. Brave Axe. Perfect. And I think I can just attack with the Silver Lance here. Wow. Leaving him at 2 HP is actually really cool because then I can just use Rakesis to get this KO, which is nice. Miracle Sword should be fine here. Especially because I should be able to kill the other 4 units that are standing here. I mean, there is a 5th, but not a reasonable issue in my humble opinion. And they are danced for. Let's go ahead and move you back just one. All right, Sigurd, go ahead and strike you down. Perfect. Yeah, so Sigurd is doing 34. Chagall has 19. Chagall is not dying to Sigurd. Quadding and hitting every time. All right. This is 27 times 2. Perfect. And 25 times 2, it's not a KO, unfortunately. You know, I messed up there. I should have put Quan next to Ethlin because he would give her another 20 crit. Oh well. All is good in the world of Jugdral, so it doesn't even matter. Lewin? He still has a turn or two before these guys are a serious threat. I really only need to KO the boss of the Thracian Draco Knight, so it's not really that big a deal regardless. And this guy misses. Nice. Sylvia. Taken down to 1 HP. Wow. She could have actually died there. That's actually pretty astonishing.
Sigurd, feel the full force of your months of humiliation of me.
King Chagall, you've done naught but murder countless innocents. And Eldigan. You're as foul as they come.
Silence, you fool! You understand nothing of me. You die, Sigurd, here and now.
I think he's going to use... Oh, wow, he used the Silver Blade? What in the world are you thinking, Chagall? The fact that he didn't proc a single Pavis is kind of insane to me. And that is a save and a quit for this episode. Unfortunately, Chagall's defeat as well as the Draconites are going to have to wait because I have much to do next episode. I want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe depending on your platform of choice. Leave a comment down below, and while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.